Welcome. A very good evening from Little Red Dot, Singapore. I'm Alicia Chia and I'm the SAA for tonight. I also happen to be the timer as well. A very welcome and fantastic and fabulous night, evening, morning, afternoon to everyone out there. And welcome to Singapore International Dynamic Speakers. We are a 100% online club and therefore we will always meet every Friday online. Now, we always encourage everyone to turn on their videos because we want to see their wonderful faces, beautiful girls and guys out there. But if you are shy and you need to work, we do have other options. You can switch off the video, which is at the button right below the screen. And when there's a speaker speaking and you're not supposed to speak, kindly mute yourself. We have a very exciting theme, driving the vision forward. And without much ado, I'll hand over to our Toastmaster of the day, Joan D'Souza. Over to you, Joan.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is a beautiful Friday for all of us. And sadly, for some of them, it's going to end. And for us, it's right. We are in the middle of our day. We come from all over the globe in Singapore to join the Singapore Online Toastmasters Club. Few of us are from New York, few of us are from Mississauga, Toronto, Canada, and I am speaking from Switzerland. And thank you so much, Willie, our president, and Alicia Chia for hosting this wonderful event every week. So come, friends, join us and drive our vision forward. Drive our vision forward. This is our vision to make our Toastmasters Club one of the most premier clubs in the globe. So not to further delay, I would like to introduce our supporting team members. Our timer, Alicia Chia, she already introduced herself. And our counter, Abdul Karimi, but I guess he will be joining us soon. And without further delay, again, I would like to introduce our table topic master, Angela Lansbury. So, Angela, I would like to, first of all, start off with introduction of our an opening session with our president, and who would please, President Mr. Willie, would you please like to come ahead and say a few words before we start our meeting?
The very essence of leadership is that you have to have a vision. It's got to be a vision you articulate clearly and forcefully on every occasion. There's nothing more demoralizing than a leader who can't clearly articulate why we are doing what we are doing. Good business leader creates a vision, articulate the vision, passionate own the vision, and readily drive it to completion. Leaders have a vision. They share a dreams, a direction that other people want to share and follow. The leadership vision goes beyond your written organization mission statement and your vision statement. The vision of leadership permeates the workplace and it manifests in the action, belief, values, and goals of your organization leaders. This vision attracts and affects every employee who is engaged in living this set of action, belief, values, and goals. They want to share your vision. Fellow Toastmaster, Gawker Smedley have created a vision for public speaker. They have created a Toastmaster Club. small room at YMCA in 1924. 96 years later, we benefit for his vision and how these Toastmasters have helped us to improve our communication skill that spread over throughout the whole world. At every corner of the world, there's always, every country, there's always a Toastmaster club. So is your vision to improve your communication skill if you are not a Toastmaster yet? If you are already a Toastmaster, what's your vision? Is your vision to do your speech project every week or 10 hours, or do it and plan your vision at the last minute? When you plan your vision at the last minute, you tend to make mistakes. Vision need to be planned, think, and execute. It's not a immediate, when you think of it, straight away, you will have to do it. Whether it's a club leader or it's a Toastmaster, you need to think, you need to listen, you need to plan, and then you execute. Without all these 4 points, your vision will be a mess. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Willie, for such an inspiring speech. And friends, now come join us and drive our vision forward again. Join us to be the most visionary club. And, you know, as Willie and Alicia and all of you have given us the opportunity to develop this lovely platform, let's have greater self-confidence and more personal growth. With this, I would like to hand over the floor to our most eminent, prominent, frequent visitor of our club, Angela Lansbury, and she will lead us with her powerful table topics today. So to you, Angela Lansbury, let's give her a big round of applause.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I'm now going to share my screen. And I have my first question already. So I would like somebody who is an experienced Toastmaster and who thinks they can answer this question well. Oh, I see Kanan is waving his hand. Shall I take Kanan then? What is your fondest childhood memory of Christmas, your childhood or one you know about? And before we do that, perhaps Timer could give us a clue as to the timing for the benefit of newcomers.
Yeah, sure. Table topic master. The timing sequence is as follows. When the speaker speaks for 1 minute, I will have the green screen behind me in the virtual background flashed. Then when the person speaks to 1.5 minutes, I will change the green screen to yellow screen. And when the speaker reaches 2 minutes, I will have the red screen behind me. And the speaker has 30 seconds remain to finish his or her speech. Otherwise, will be speaking over time. And I will flash behind me, time is up. So back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Alicia. Now, before we start, there were a couple more things I wish to say. First, I'd like to know, do we have a language evaluator and a word of the day? No, we don't. And I'm going to pick a very simple word. I'm going to pick the word wonderful. And if you can use the word wonderful in your topic, I'd be very pleased. And my other request is that you end on a positive note and a call to action and try to tell a personal story. I think that will be the most fun for all of us. The themes are all Christmassy ones. And we're starting off with this question. What is your fondest childhood memory of Christmas, your childhood or one you know about? And we're passing over to Kanan to be the first speaker.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. I am going to take you all to sometime in 1970. In India, most of the people are in Hindu. In the colonies, there will be some Christians who will be celebrating Christmas. In those days, which I am not seeing in US, and now I have migrated to US, there will be a star symbol in a yellow color star symbol. Inside there will be a bulb. So they will be putting that light outside their house. That means, and I have few Christian friends. Those days, they used to buy a cake. Fellow Toastmasters, I am talking about 1970. There are no baking ovens in every house in India. And it was it was pre-IT syndrome area. So they used to buy the cake from some of the caking companies, plum cake. And they used to, we were very eager to go to their house on that day to eat a small piece of cake, only this much, very small piece. They were very thankful to everyone. They had a wonderful Christmas, and they are wonderful in sharing that small cake to every one of the boys. That is what I think sharing about. Currently, I am in US. I can bake my own cake. We have our own Christmas tree, and we try to give charity to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and we are also able to give charities to Soup Kitchen. But I cannot compare that small piece of cake that I ate when they do not have any means to buy a bigger one, when they do not have their means to share what they have, but still they used to share the small piece of cake. I think that was a wonderful sharing. I urge people to share whatever you have. God has blessed us with whatever we have. Even if it is a small thing, let us share it to the society. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Kanan. My goodness, you made me so hungry. I went off and ate a piece of cake. That was wonderful sharing. I'm going to do something which is not normally done at this club, but it has been done at some other clubs. I'm going to give you the topic and then ask for a person to volunteer to speak on that topic. This is what is usually what happens if you're in a meeting, a topic is raised, you have to decide whether you're going to jump in and answer it because you've got a thought. And if you're courageous, you will. So I expect you're all going to put your hands up. So the next question is number 2. This is a difficult one. Your friend or colleague in the USA tells you to ask her husband to Christmas dinner in Singapore. While you're on the phone, excuse me, to her, he arrives with another woman. What do you tell him? Should he stay or should he go? And what do you tell your friend on the phone? Here's a challenge for you, a diplomatic challenge, and this really happened to somebody I know who is very diplomatic and has a decision, or who is very moral and is going to be outraged and tell him to go. Do I have a volunteer who immediately knows what they want to say? You're all looking perplexed at this one. Joan, can you answer this?
It's a very difficult table topic. So, all right. So what I understand is why, like my friend is asking me to invite her husband to Xmas dinner, and her husband arrives with another woman, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What do you tell him? Oh my gosh. President, fellow Toastmasters, and guest. The other day I was talking to my friend and she told me to invite her husband because her husband is alone here. And she thought that since I'm here with my family, I should invite her husband for a nice, lovely Christmas dinner to be with us. And I said, I was amazed to see how empathetic and loving that this woman was, that she wanted me actually to invite her husband who's alone and he couldn't go back to the US because of the quarantine and so on, and COVID, and he wanted me to invite her husband home. And I did that, and guess what happened? He comes with another woman. My friend, I'm talking to her and I said, Emma, I've invited your husband home today for dinner and he's here with me. And I didn't know what to tell her because I was so sorry about her that I could see this man laughing and giggling with this new woman while this woman right in the US is longing to be with her husband. Now, what do I tell my friend out there? I had to just be compassionate towards her and tell her, and I told her nothing. But my whole aim was, and my whole energy was all towards this man who left his poor wife out there in sorrow and misery in winter, alone celebrating Christmas while he was enjoying here with another woman. I just told him that, my friend, I really have no words but to, and I couldn't join the dinner. I had to just walk away from there. And my husband spent time having dinner with this guy. So anyways, back to you, Toastmasters of the day. Sorry. Very difficult topic. I'm sorry. I could just feel myself in that woman's shoes. And I know how it is. I'm in Switzerland right now. It's so cold and I cannot imagine me alone here. And while my husband is having fun with another woman out there in Singapore.
Okay, thank you, Joan, for your good effort at that very challenging question. I think I would have just put him on the phone to her and let him work out what to tell her. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Ask everybody some questions on Christmas. The next person who perhaps doesn't know much about Christmas, perhaps you tell me the things that perplex you about Christmas. What are the things that you don't understand or would like to know more about, or which puzzle you? So is there somebody who would like to ask some questions about Christmas? Asmina, would you like to ask us some questions and tell us what puzzles you?
You mean I should ask the questions to other people about the Christmas, how they celebrate it?
Ask anything you want to ask. Yes, what do you want to know?
So how you celebrate, what you do in those Christmas days, 10, 15 Christmas days when you prepare for the Christmas?
Okay, you ask.
What exactly you do, yeah. Yeah, so who can answer? Alicia? Yeah.
Can you unmute,
I can.
Alicia?
Sorry, do I time myself? I'm the one answering the question, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll time myself. So what was your question again, Asmina?
So how you celebrate the Christmas, how you make the Christmas?
All right, good, very good
Christmas
question.
Day.
Hey, for me, Christmas, I really celebrate, it's the mega event for me because I'm a Catholic and I celebrate Christmas. It's an even bigger event than Chinese New Year for me. Firstly, my celebration starts before Christmas itself. It's the preparation. And this year, particularly for me, since I shifted to a new house, I have more things to do. I've just bought myself a Christmas tree, Christmas decorations to decorate my door, welcoming Christmas and my friends over to Christmas party. And I bought Christmas decorations to decorate my tree with multicolored LED lights and those cute decorations.
No.
And I also bought some stickers of Christmas to stick on my windows. And of course, once Christmas Day itself comes, but the highlight is the Christmas Eve where I'll attend Christmas service at the church. Then after that, the next day, Christmas Day itself will be lots of feasting, eating, drinking, partying, merrymaking, sing Christmas carols. And at the end of the day, I'll be deadbeat. But then the Christmas Day itself doesn't end because for me, there's 12 days of Christmas. So every day I try to enjoy myself to watch Christmas movies, dramas, gather with my family and friends, and basically chill out for Christmas. So that's my Christmas for you, Asmina. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Alicia. Thanks for letting us know how you celebrate the Christmas. And it's wonderful to know that every day is a Christmas day. Now, who will say, Mr. Sankar?
Thank you
Mr.
very
Kannan?
much, Asmina and Alicia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, both of you. We had a good question and a very heartfelt answer. Now, my next question. What would you like to see as Christmas light symbols next year? What would you like to see as Christmas light symbols next year? Or tell us about last year's, which were the best ones, which ones would you like to see again? Your favorite symbols. Do I have a volunteer? Otherwise, I'm going to pick somebody. I can't see everybody. Does somebody who's muted, spelled E-U-S-U-K-O, Mr. or Mrs. O, are you here? Oh, I don't know. Okay, can we go to Willie? Willie? Alicia, can you get through to Willie?
Are you allowed to just go once or you can go again?
Well, I'm trying to give everybody a chance, but for some reason, when I click on gallery, I can only see 6 people.
Oh, president is on a call, so you got to ask somebody else.
Okay, Alicia, I can't see the other people. Can you volunteer someone for me?
There are only 7 people, 6 people other than you, Angela.
Okay, in that case, I will allow Joan to go ahead, since she is keen.
Yes. What would I like to see Christmas light symbol next year? For me, this year has been a very, very difficult year. Not just for me, for everyone, all of us, right? With lots of ups and downs and with lots of setbacks in life. So what I really like to see next year as symbols is more of peace and harmony. And what could be more than having more lights in your house, having more decoration in your house, and just visiting people? Because I guess we really missed meeting people this year, making friends this year, seeing even our closest family members. We couldn't see our grandparents, our parents who lived across even the border. So next year, I really want to see symbols like more light in your house, more decoration, and more visits, which will actually symbolize for me more peace and harmony. And back to you, Angela. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joan. I appreciate your sentiments, which I think everybody else shares. I was expecting you to say doves.
Oh, okay.
Because you said you were talking about peace. So I thought that might be your symbol. Thank you. I'm now going on to the next question. The next question will be, have you ever been asked to sing a hymn or song and not known the words? If this happened to you, what would you do? You've all been in karaoke, so you must have an idea of what to do when you can't sing the tune. I'm going to ask Kanan. Kanan.
Oh, I can try it out, Madam Table Topics Master. You are asking about singing. Fellow Toastmasters, I am allowed to sing only in the bathroom. My wife has permitted me only to sing at the bathroom because outside the bathroom, she feels that I am not a good singer. Fellow Toastmasters, if I started singing, people ran away. So my son has forbidden me singing. But if you want me, if somebody asks me to sing a hymn or a song, I do not have any problem. I will be singing with my full voice. Like that. I don't need the words, or I can even create some words on the fly and then I can sing. But who will listen? It is not like a Toastmaster speech where you have to sit and evaluate whether you like the speech or not. People run away if I start singing. Fellow Toastmasters, at least maybe in the future, if I have an opportunity, if God comes and asks me, what is your Christmas boon you want? I would say, please allow others to hear me. I am not going to say I want to be a better singer, but I am going to take a boon where the God will force all the others to hear me singing. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Kanan. That was lovely. I like your suggestion that instead of singing better, the others have different hearing so that they think you're singing better. That was most original. Thank you very much for that. I hope you're all listening because you're going to be voting on the best speaker. And I hope Alicia's keeping a note of who spoke in which order so we can have a quick account of the timing as well as who spoke on which subject. Now, the next question. If you were a buyer for Christmas crackers, which tiny gifts would you put inside each cracker on the dinner table? Does anybody not know what a Christmas cracker is? If so, I'll explain it. Hands up if you don't know. You don't know. A Christmas cracker it looks like an arm, and you twist the ends of it and you pull it apart, and out comes a paper hat and a teeny gift and a motto. And it makes a big bang when you pull it apart. and it's lots of fun. And you can have very cheap little gifts like the sort you get in a Happy Meal at McDonald's, or you can fill your own cracker with something like a silver bracelet. So that's a cracker. So the question is, if you were the buyer for Christmas crackers, which tiny, and they usually come in a set of 6 or 12, which tiny gifts would you put inside each cracker on the dinner table? The fun items you usually get are puzzles, whistles, tape measures, sewing sets, and so on. Anyway, over to you. Do I have a volunteer? Alicia, yes. Over to you, Alicia.
A very good evening to club president, to members and guests. I've got this question. If you were the buyer for Christmas crackers, which tiny gifts would you put inside each cracker on the dinner table? Okay, this is very interesting. I've never been a buyer for Christmas crackers, and this is the first time I heard of Christmas crackers. So I'll take it as an excellent opportunity to impute Christmas spirit to my fellow Christians and non-Christians who come together to celebrate Christmas. First, I'll have the checklist names of those who buy my crackers. And then I'll look through their names and I try to link their names to animals. And I'll get them cute little stuffed toy, but really tiny ones that can act as keychains. And beside this cute little stuffed toy keychain, I will also have a message. And a message, something akin to, if you heard of fortune cookies come with a message. So I have a personal message there, a quote, special quote for that special person. So everybody will have this cute little stuffed toy keychain and a quote, and hopefully the person will be so happy and enjoy that dinner day and forever remember my Christmas crackers. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Alicia. And that's very original. I haven't heard of that before, linking up the message with the toy. I think you've got a business to develop there. Right, now we'll go on to our next question. How are we doing for time, Madam Timekeeper?
Okay,
How
what is
many-
our timing now? Let me see. Yeah.
How many more questions?
I think,
One more.
yeah, we can still afford one more question. Now it's 10:01.
Thank you. There are 2 people in the waiting room, it says. I'd like to give them a chance if you can let them in. Alicia, can you let them in? Right. Okay, I'll go on to my next question. I think this is going to be for Peter. Peter Jussa, your question is, please describe or demonstrate how to wrap a parcel or cover a book. Are you familiar with table topics? You have 2 minutes to do this. You will see a green light, a yellow light, and then a red light when you've got 30 seconds left. Over to you, Peter. Please describe or demonstrate how to wrap a parcel or cover a book. Can you unmute? Thank you.
Hi, a warm welcome. Is my sound working? Is the sound? Now is the sound? How's the sound? Oh,
That's,
okay.
that's lovely.
Okay, Ken, cool. Yeah, a warm welcome to everyone from around the world. Uh, my name is Peter. I'm from Singapore, and I'm from specific. This Toastmaster is a Nisunese Toastmaster in Singapore. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. According to the question is how to describe. According to Lunchberry Toastmaster, she says that to describe how to wrap a parcel or cover a book. Yeah. For yeah. Hmm. Actually, I'm not an expert in rapping, but yeah, but I can give it a try, give it a go. Hmm. Uh, firstly, firstly, yeah, you can. Firstly, we'll need some instructions to yeah, some instructions to how to wrap the present, and yeah, something interesting that I would like to incorporate is I use a paper bag, like the paper bag to wrap a present. That would be very interesting because the is a unique way of wrapping. Use a paper bag and cut it out, and wrapping use that kind of color, yeah, to wrap the parcel or cover the book would be interesting instead of the normal, you go to the shop and buy the pattern kind of wrappers. You use the like the paper bag, the color, not really the paper bag but the color of it. Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Peter. That's very original. So you use a ready-made paper bag and then cut it to fit.
Yeah,
Thank you for that suggestion. Excellent. I believe that that brings us to the end. So I'll pass back to Alicia, unless she thinks we've got time for another one. Perhaps Alicia would tell us who spoke in which order and on which subject so we can vote.
All right. Thank you, table topic master. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 7 speakers tonight. The first speaker, Kanan, he spoke for 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Second speaker, Joan, she spoke for 2 minutes, 19 seconds. Asmina and Alicia, Asmina asked a question and I answered. I spoke for 1 minute, 47 seconds. Next up, Joan spoke for 1 minute, 03 seconds. Then Kanan spoke again at 1 minute, 21 seconds. And Alicia spoke for 1 minute, 35 seconds. And the final speaker, Peter, spoke for 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So I'm very pleased to announce that everyone has qualified. There's no time disqualifications, and you may all vote. Is the polling ready?
Thank you for the time. Thanks for informing the time.
Yes, the polling is ready. So although you can see the third speaker, Asmina, and Alicia, you vote for Asmina. My name is later.
These table topics, people who speak in, I would like to inquire this, people who spoke in those, the table topics are not eligible for the vote.
No. People who spoke in table topic, you can vote. The only persons that cannot vote are the host and co-host.
Oh.
So for me, I'm a SAA and timer. I'm the co-host, so I can't vote. As long as you're not co-host, you can vote.
I was
So
initially.
if you feel that your speech is good, you can vote for yourself. No
even
worries.
the speakers. Okay. Good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please
thanks
go
for
ahead and vote.
opportunities.
Although there are some speakers that spoke twice, their name only appeared once.
I see. Okay.
Back to you, table topic master.
So I can't see who's voted, but is anybody struggling to vote? You can vote for yourself or your favorite speaker, or who you think was most original.
They will send the voting table.
Can you raise your hand if you've already voted, so I know that everyone's voted? Anyone who wants to vote has voted. Right. Put your hands down. Raise your hand if you haven't voted and you want some help. Nobody. So everyone has voted. Thank you very much for very interesting answers. I should take them away. Very good. Well done, everybody. Back to you. Have a happy Christmas and wrap some parcels and have a lovely time. Back to you, Alicia. Actually, back to Joan, because she's the TMD.
Thank you, Angela, for such a lovely session. We really enjoyed reminiscing on lovely Christmas moments, how we enjoyed the past and how we are planning to enjoy in the future. It really brought all the Christmas alive. And I'm waiting for this lovely Christmas now. It's going to kind of be a good end for a very difficult year and showing us a new light for a new year. So now we will go for a 10-minute break, and I will see again all your beautiful faces again after 10 minutes. So go run for a cup of coffee. If you don't have one, come to Switzerland and I will be happy to share a nice hot chocolate with all of you. So, and to you, all of you, just come back again. We'll see you all at 3:19. Right? So that's, I'm sorry, 3:19 for me, but it's actually 10:19 in Singapore. So just 10 minutes and we will see you again. So have a lovely, nice break. Okay. So come friends, join us again and drive our vision forward. Drive our vision forward to become the best public speaker. Drive our vision forward and be very self-confident. We would like to again invite you for our second session of speakers, and we have great speeches aligned for all of you. Our first speaker today is Mr. Kanan Sankara. Kanan Sankara is going to is doing his pathway visionary communication, and his project is level 1, mastering fundamentals. I would like to invite his project evaluator, Azmina, to tell us his speech objectives. Azmina?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmasters. So today, Mr. Kanan will talk about culture and marriage, different aspects, and give us some more information. So let's welcome Mr. Kanan.
So welcome, Mr. Kanan Sankara. Your timing, I guess it is for 5 to 7 minutes, your speech. And the title of the speech is Marriage and Culture, Kanan Sankara. Kanan Sankara, Marriage and Culture. Kanan Sankara.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, Madam Evaluator, for introducing me. First of all, let me talk. What is culture? Culture is made of belief, language, festival, and a group of people. This is slightly different from society. Different societies have different culture. A culture represents the belief and practices of a group. Society represents the people who share those beliefs and practices. Now, let us talk about the marriage. What is a marriage? Marriage is the strongest relationship in terms of controlling, can I say, human behavior. There are various reasons why men and women want to be tied through marriage. It could be religious, it could be economic, it could be social, or cultural factors. In those days, earlier days, even politics, the princess of your kingdom will be married to another princess just for political reason. Cultural factors have special characteristics as it includes human feelings and intentions. Some form of marriage has been found in all human societies. The main function of a marriage is to ensure the right of the partners with respect to each other and ensure the rights and define the relationship of the children. Marriage historically conferred a legitimate status on the children, which entitled them various privileges set down by the community, mostly the right of inheritance, property, etc. I think until 20th century, marriage was rarely a matter of free choice. I know for sure in Asian community, the marriage was mostly arranged. I heard, I saw what you can call the Mulan, the movies, where they also try to arrange marriage for that Mulan. In Western societies also, love becomes love between partners nowadays only has become the choice. Earlier, it used to be an arranged marriage by somebody in between who was doing. Let me talk a couple of things about two philosophies. I'm going to say endogamy, the practice of marrying within the tribe. This is what mostly followed in those society. Exogamy is practice of marrying outside the group, which is very rare those days, but nowadays that is happening a lot. In societies like India, where large or extended family remains the basic unit, basically the marriages are usually, I'm talking about say 40 years ago, it was arranged by the family most of the time. There are exceptions. We are not going to talk about that. The assumption is that love between the spouses, between the partners, husband and wife, comes after marriage, and much thought has been given for the socio-economic advantages. By contrast, nowadays, the same culture has adapted where the partners choose their own, where the people choose their own partners, the younger ones, the girl chooses the boy chooses the girl, on their own. They are not in the arranged marriage. In societies where arranged marriage, the universal custom is there is somebody called a matchmaker who comes in between, and his responsibility is to arrange a marriage that will be satisfactory to both the families and made sure that the economic and the society things are taken care of. The challenge nowadays, I want to talk about the challenges nowadays. Because it was a love marriage, I'm not saying anything wrong. The partner chooses their own partner and they go outside the cultural barrier. For example, an Indian marry a Westerner or a Chinese Asian marry a Westerner. There are some problems. There are not problems. There are some differences. I would say differences, but they need to handle the differences. Because the two cultural backgrounds meet in the marriage, the relationship can be enriched. It is good to have a different culture, but we need to identify. I'm going to talk about few things in the marriage we have to be careful of. The partners must educate themselves about their family and about the other partner's culture. This is very difficult, but if you are not adaptable to their culture, it could create problems. And you may have false beliefs about the other culture. For example, I did not know many things about Christianity. When I went to the college, I learned, because I studied in a Christian college, I learned most of the things about the Christian religion, and I like the sharing things. I learned a lot. So I thought, okay, Christianity is one of the best religion. They try to teach us sharing. So you try to understand about the other culture before making judgment. And when you are talking about when you married another culture, try to discuss the positive and the negatives of the two cultures. Discuss jointly. The husband and wife can sit together and say these are the things, plus and minuses, so that they can appreciate and understand other culture and adjust and adapt to other culture. That is also important. You need compromise, you need communication, and you need to make sure that you are adaptable to other culture. You may be respectful of each other culture. It is wonderful to have a great life. It is wonderful to have a different partner from a different culture. But fellow Toastmasters, appreciate other culture. Marriage is a great thing. It is bestowed on us by the God. The relationship is very pure. There is no right or wrong in an arranged marriage, love marriage, or you can choose your partner. But I want to summarize: adapt, understand, and respect your partner. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Kanan Sankara. You've taught us how marriages are important, and it's important to even to move forward our vision. So, and it's important to bind and be so that we can live harmoniously in this community. So to move forward, let's go to our next speech. And our next speech is, actually, I'm going to do the next speech. So I want my evaluator here to talk about my speech objectives.
Sure.
And okay, so do you want me to tell the project what is the detail of my project?
Yeah, I can read the purpose statement first. So, Joan, the
Okay.
purpose of this project is for the member to practice using story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. All the best and have fun.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. So I'm doing Dynamic Leadership Pathway Level 3. And this is Level 3 involves increasing knowledge. And my speech title is Strength Switch. So my friends, today I'm going to talk about 2 stories before I actually talk about my content. And then I will end up telling 3 stories, and we will talk about what message I'm going to convey to you. So my first story is I go to a supermarket. The other day I went to the supermarket and I brought some items at the counter, and I just went and I started checking out. The lady out there was sitting out there, and I was very grumpy. I just took my items and she said, "Thank you for purchasing. And I look forward to seeing you again." And she gave me a very broad smile. And guess what I did? I did not smile back. I just walked away. So my second story now is my daughter, Rachel. She came back the other day from school. Again, in a very grumpy mood, she entered the house, yelled, opened the door, slammed it, and threw her stuff down on the floor. I was very annoyed, and I just said, "You are so messy." Now, raise your hand with my first question if you think I was very cruel. Do you think I was cruel? Raise your hand if you think I was cruel, or in short, even unkind. See, only none of you, right? Just I see very few people raising their hands there. Now, in my second story, raise your hand if you think that my daughter was messy. Okay. So, my friends, the whole moral of this 2 short stories is that, do we actually make judgments on just one instance? Or do we make judgment on multiple instances? Or is it really important to make judgment or to look at the other side of the story? Now, I told you I was very grumpy on the first instance, and even the second instance, my daughter was grumpy. But the reason, again, was that we did not have a good day that day. We had a lot of things happening, and we were in a bad mood. But does that apply to each and every instant? Does that mean that we are always cruel or always unkind? Are we always messy? Is my child always messy? Why do we make these judgments? Does absence of kindness, does that mean that we are cruel? If we are messy on one instance, are we messy every day? My friends, these are all judgment calls that we keep making in our life. Now, why do we do that? This is because it dates back to our ancestors of just being very negative. Our ancestors were very vigilant those days. They always saw potential threats around them, and which made them look at the negative side, which of a person, which made them always cautious, which made them inherently very vigilant. But does that apply in these days? Then why do we constantly look at negatives of people? Why do we constantly make judgment without even understanding that person, what's happening behind in their scene? Why do we nail that person as he's so naughty, he's so always serious, he is always, having a bad temper? Let's look at the other side of the person and let's focus on the strength. It's called as a strength switch. Friends, if we give constant attention to a particular skill set, we know that we can build on it. If we constantly sustain that attention on that particular strength, we know, friends, we can build on it. This all takes practice. Now let's find out about this inherent fault finding defaults that we have. We have these 4 inherent fault finding defaults, which actually make us focus on somebody's negatives. One is projection. Projection is how we look at us to another person, project ourselves. It's like a mirror looking at you. If you are always messy, you look at that person's very second strength, very second negativity of that person, that he is messy, because we lack that particular ability of cleanliness. When I was actually, when I moved here in Switzerland, I was always constantly looking for friends who had just moved. That was just my attention seeking or selective attention habit, because I could have looked for people who were already here, but I wanted to only make friends with people who had just moved like me. So it is all about how we focus our attention on, where we actually focus our attention on. So this is one of our inherent selective inherent fault finding default that we have. One is that we are always looking at negatives of other person because we project ourselves in that person. And secondly, it's about selective attention. We are always selectively looking for things which we really want to focus on or which we are lacking. So then how can we overcome and how can we make this strength switch and actually look at strengths of other person? First of all, I would again like to tell you 3 more stories, actually again short stories. One of my friends is trying very hard to make her daughter get up very early in the morning. And her daughter is actually putting the alarm on, but she switches it off as soon as it rings and goes back to sleep. Now, I told her that instead of looking at her laziness, why don't we look at her perseverance here, that she at least puts her alarm on in the morning. My daughter is constantly looking at 2 things at a time, reading as well as watching serials. So again, I'd like to switch my strength and switch her strength and her ability to be again perseverant here, that how she's being more perseverant. So again, my friends, let's focus our attention on people's strength and make our life happy and peaceful. Back to you. Thank you so much for listening to me today. So now we go to the third speaker. Our third speaker is Azmeena. And Azmeena is doing her, one second, please, Azmeena is doing her pathway, presentation mastery, and she's doing mastering fundamentals and on her level 1, and she wants evaluation and feedback. And we would like to invite her evaluator, Lee Buckley, to speak about her project objectives.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Good day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech tonight is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from her or his first speech. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Ms. Lee Buckley. Azmeena, I would like to introduce Azmeena. She says that she has upside of, she's going to talk about upside of aging, modern, older, and the types of effort that people take. Correct, Azmeena? And
Yeah.
And again, this is about her presentation mastery level 1. The speech title is Upside of Aging. Azmeena, Upside of Aging. To you, Azmeena.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I'll try to share my screen. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
All right. Okay. I think it's distable. Okay, that is fine.
SAA has to give you the rights. Alicia, can you please give her the rights to share her screen? So go ahead, Azmeena. She has shared her screen. She has allowed you to share your screen.
So my topic is upside of aging. So as we age, our ability to retrieve information and to process the older information declines. And when that ability declines, we are unable to see the big picture of everything. Instead of remembering or recalling the past things or retrieve new information, we start seeing our mind works from left to right, and we can picture the gist of the things very easily. In order to solve this problem, it is told that we must write the things down and remember the names of the people in advance. Our short-term memory declines, but our long-term memory, our meta memory, which enables us to remember how our mind works, it becomes better. As we age, we think positive. Instead of going after competition, we look for the whole picture. We care for human and society more. So they talk about modern elders. Modern elders are the ones who, instead of becoming anxious about things, they care about the self-care. They are more patient, they're empath, they understand what is good in them, how to manage their anger, their emotions. They care for other people's emotions. So even after we no longer produce, nature keeps us alive because we can help families and society to thrive and to grow. Therefore, a 40-year-old can be a modern elder in front of 20-year-old to whom it's invaluable it's invaluable having an experienced guide telling him where the rocks are in the streams. So that's why it is said that aging with vitality exists, which create a perfect alchemy of wisdom and curiosity. As we age, we must cultivate a growth mindset. In order to cultivate a growth mindset, we need to be careful of several things. Number one, remove ageism from your language. As we know that ageism is the last socially acceptableism, and people have internalized. We often hear aged people saying that I am too old to do this or to try this or I cannot do this. Nothing is deadening. Nothing is too old. Find a role model, find 5 people whom you can admire, look for the best traits, and then embrace those traits within yourself. Diversify your friends. Join the community or club where they don't value the age. Instead, they value your energy and your awareness. That's why it's said that energy goes where awareness goes. Energy flows where awareness goes. Often at age 50, people try to rethink their goals, they rethink their value, and they start focusing what their heart and soul says. And usually as you age, you feel more happy because you follow your heart and soul. There are 2 kinds of efforts: upstream efforts and downstream efforts. In upstream efforts, you start pedaling very hard and you try to fight and try to achieve something very hard, and but you cannot reach your goal. It's very difficult, you are struggling. This happens especially when you're in academics, when you try to achieve goals, when you are to achieve sales in specific period of time. Whereas in downstream efforts, you do paddle, but you paddle with ease. You have loose attachment with your goals, and you you have loose attachment with your goals, and you try to listen to your heart. In order to downstream efforts, you need to focus on your inner work, your inner heart, and you have to identify what you value in life. Is it authority? Is it your freedom? Is it your joy? And these values will serve as your North Star, and then you will follow. And every day you will ask, what are you following your dreams? Are you reaching anywhere? And the downstream efforts is psychological efforts. It will You will feel psychologically in such a manner that whether time speeds up or time slows down, it becomes your your you will become one with the activity and you will not get distracted. That's why the parents who are most satisfied with their work, those parents who go to every day to work with a greater satisfaction in the morning, their kids are more happier, and the kids get more better grades in the school. Uh, Whereas the parents who are less satisfied with the work, or those who don't like their work as much as they should, then their kids are bullied in the school. So it is better to have a downstream efforts, should have loose attachment with the goals instead of having upstream efforts, which is only good if you need to achieve certain grades or certain level of sales or certain in a specific time period. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Asmina. That was a inspiring speech for me. I learned a lot, especially how it's also important to be surrounded with people who think like you. That's why probably I'm here in Toastmasters Club, Singapore Toastmasters Club, because people are here filled with energy, joy, and so much of enthusiasm. So yes, and I want to also age very gracefully and not think about my age right now. So we will go to the end of this now. Unfortunately, now this is the end of our speech session, and we will move on to our next session, that is evaluation. But before that, again, we would like to give you all a 10-minute break so that you can relax, mingle, and come back again and meet with us. So we will just take a 10-minute break, go for your coffee, and relax for 10 minutes and come back again. Take care. Welcome back again, and come and drive our vision forward. Drive our vision to become the best public speaker, very confident, and this is our platform, Singapore Online English Toastmasters Club. So again, a warm welcome to all of you. And this is the most awaited part of our session, which is evaluation. My friends, you should never miss this session because this is where you actually learn from the most experienced Toastmasters members who have been in this field for many, many years. So now let's drive our vision forward again and learn from the best people. So our first evaluator here is Azmina. Azmina, who's going to evaluate Kanan Sankara's speech. So Azmina, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So first of all, I'll tell the positive points, the good points. So the start of the speech was really great. Mr. Sankar has given us the definition of culture and then the definition of marriage. And then he goes, the next, which the positive point was that he gave us how politicians, how the marriage takes place in politics background, how he has compared the older days to the current days, which was a great information. And then he has told us about the challenges that marriages face nowadays and given us the point-wise what are the challenges we face and how to overcome those challenges. Now, the points which he could improve on is that his eye contact was good, gestures was good. He could give us some real life examples with these points, like maybe some example of some particular family. For the older days, also some real life example, and for nowadays also with the real life example. Also with the politics, also if the real life example is there, then we can have more, the speech becomes more interesting and it has a lasting impression on our minds. Rest of the speech was really good and very informative. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Azmina. We learned so much from you, and it's important how all these real life examples are so that it becomes more relatable. So with that, we go to our next evaluator, and the next evaluator is Thomas Chen, who's going to evaluate my speech. Thank you so much, Thomas Chen, and the floor is yours. Yeah.
Facts tell and stories sell, but today Joan certainly made us buy with her spectacular speech itself. And I will start off with the commendations before the recommendations. So what did Joan did excellently? Of course, it was her excellent engagement of the audience. She asked us a wealth of questions. Do you think I'm unkind? Do you think she's not disciplined? Do you think? And that's the power of questions, because questions allow us to reflect and review on her content. And we want to really deep dive into how these related to her and how we can apply it to us. So by using questions, she was able to engage us effectively and connect with us on a more profound level. Secondly, it was the relatable and applicable learning lessons that she integrated into her speech itself, namely developing perspective, how positive can come out of negative, how opportunities can come out of difficulties. And this is very apt, especially for this challenging period of time where the situation is just so challenging, so negative, so much difficulty. So I would really like to thank Joan for using this timely opportunity to share with us about how we can look for the light in the darkness itself. Right now, I would love to share some recommendations so that Joan will be the Angelina Jolie of public speaking. So Joan, firstly, I encourage you to streamline your content. You see, stories are just like eating buffet. The first plate, amazing. Second plate, a little bit bloated. third plate, you probably have constipation. So what I encourage you to do is to streamline your content to perhaps just 1 or 2 stories so that you have more time and space to elaborate more, to explore more, to expand more on those stories itself, right? And secondly, what I encourage you to do is to animate to relate. Animate your content, animate your stories so that we can relate and resonate with you better. For example, when you are speaking to your daughter, you could say, please pack your stuff now. So just by doing that, we can see the emotions being exhibited, we can see the expressions being expressed, and we are able to visualize and internalize what you felt at that point in time, right? And finally, what I would encourage you to do is to punch us, give us a very strong call to action at the end of your speech itself so that you can wrap up everything and you can galvanize us into action. Ladies and gentlemen, in this challenging time where we are facing so many difficulties, it is all the more important for us to develop positive perspective and see how we can make the best of this situation so that we can live life to the fullest. In summary, congratulations, Joan. You are a spectacular storyteller with excellent audience engagement, relatable learning lessons. But do consider to streamline the content so that we can connect with it even more profoundly, animate for us to relate as well as end off with a strong, powerful, and impactful call to action. And you will certainly be the Angelina Jolene of public speaking. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Thomas, for an evaluation. And again, emphasizing on my positive strengths of being very positive at this time. I wouldn't want to speak too much because we still want to vote, and we want everybody to vote consistently and without any biases. So moving that forward, let's call again our third and the final evaluator. And our final evaluator is Miss Lee Buckley, who's going to evaluate Azmina's speech, right? Yes, Azmina's speech. So, Miss Lee Buckley, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Someone said the trick to aging gracefully is to enjoy it. Thank you, Toastmaster Azmina, for sharing with us tonight how 40 and 50-year-old modern elders age and the efforts that they need to take to age gracefully. This speech was an opportunity for you to incorporate the feedback you received from your first speech into improving your speech. The feedback received was to incorporate more real-life examples in your speech as well as to provide more details presented. I felt that you did well in incorporating both feedback in your second speech tonight. So well done, Toastmaster Azmina. You told us how the 40-year-old modern elders, they emphasize self-care, patience, and managing self and others' emotions. 50-year-olds tended to follow their heart, and you provided a good explanation of the upstream efforts of paddling hard but difficult to reach their goals, and then the easier downstream efforts of focusing on their inner heart and what they value in life. Toastmaster Azmina, as you are now progressing along your Toastmasters journey, may I suggest a few areas for you to focus, to challenge yourself so that you can reach the level of a speaker that you aspire to be. First of all, at the beginning of your speech, you checked with the Zoom master to see whether you could share your screen. And then you shared your screen, but you did not share your screen during your speech. So one of the things that I would suggest you do is to be a better speaker, a better presenter. Do your homework, do your preparation beforehand. Check with the Zoom master during the break if you were able to share your screens. And when you are able to share your screens, just do a couple of test screen sharing to make sure that you have put your screen into slideshow mode. The other thing that I would like you to look at too was you had very good video presence tonight and you looked at the camera when you were speaking. At times, you were looking down at the notes on your table. speaking, and then you look back at the camera. May I suggest perhaps place your notes, if you do need to refer to notes, place them next to you at eye level. You could always use split screen, and if not, think of, for example, I love durian. Okay, so they put a picture of durian next to the camera and then stick your notes next to that so that I can look at the favorite food and I can read my notes as well. And it seems as if I'm connecting or engaging with the audience with my eye contact. And the last thing I would like you to challenge yourself is to add more vocal variety to your speech. Okay? When you were talking about the 40-year-old, when they talk about self-care, when they talk about patience, managing others, add a bit of variety. And then when you talk about paddling hard, okay, show us how it impacts us. All in all, well done on incorporating the feedback into your speech. And as I mentioned earlier, the trick to aging gracefully is to enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, what will you do? Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Lee. And I really want to enjoy myself as I grow. And this is why I am here in Singapore Online English Toastmasters Club each and every Friday and enjoying all the speeches and the evaluation. So with this, I would like to go ahead and ask for your valuable votes. Excuse me. So, Madam Alicia Chia, Toastmasters Alicia Chia, I would like to request you to put up the polls for both speakers as well as for evaluation. The first is, please vote for the best prepared speaker today. So if everyone is done voting, is Toastmaster Alicia Chia, is everyone done? Do we have everyone's vote for the best speaker?
%88 voted, so we will appreciate the remainder persons who have not voted to please put in your vote. Thank you.
So please vote, those who have not yet voted. Thank you so much, Peter. Appreciate your help. So we'll just give another 1 minute for people to vote. Yeah, just 1 minute more. Thank you for voting. And now we'll go to the next one. Alicia, is that okay? Toastmaster Alicia? Okay, so let's pull the next poll up for the best evaluator. And so have people voted? Most of them. So we'll give another minute for the evaluators for you to all to give your best your votes for best evaluator.
Yeah, it's at 88%. So we need the remainder one person who hasn't voted. Please vote.
All right, so we'll give another minute for everyone to vote.
Toastmaster of the day voting has ended. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So with this, we would like to, so Elisa, should we ask for feedback from the new people who have just joined? How was our meeting today before we go ahead and give awards?
Yes, sure. Please go ahead, Toastmaster of the day.
Yes, so I would like people, not just the newcomers, but also our people who have been with us, to let us know how we are doing, any feedback that you can give to us so that we can keep improving ourselves. Let's start with our newcomers. Peter. Peter is our newcomer, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So Peter, can you give us a feedback as to how we did today, and so that we can keep improving ourselves?
Oh, firstly, I want to thank the dynamic Toastmaster for letting me in, yeah, into this Toastmasters. Yeah, yeah. I was at first, like when I came in, then someone said Peter. Then I'm like, why did they say my name? Like, oh, then I realized it was Angela. She was asking me to give table topics. Yeah, I was surprised at first. Yeah, like, I just came in, and then yeah, but it's this I think I need to I think this teaches me to be quick lah, to be on the spot and quick. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, to be fast also. Yeah, to be fast. Because it was unexpected. Yeah, sometimes these table topics was unexpected. Yeah, I was the one, pointed point out to give a table talk. But the questions were interesting lah. Yeah, so yeah, interesting
Good.
questions. Yeah, Angela.
All right.
Yeah, but
So
yeah.
thank you so much, Peter, for joining us, and we look forward to having you again next time and helping us drive our vision. So anyone else who would like to give us a comment or feedback on how we did today, and so that we can keep improving ourselves? And we want to drive our vision ahead of be a better communicator and be more confident in our public speaking. So please give your feedbacks. Lee, anything that we need to work on?
Evaluation time.
Yes, because this is since we want an evaluation from everyone, not just the general evaluator. It's everyone's evaluation. Yeah. Can't hear you, Lee. Can't hear you.
To drive, thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. To drive our vision forward, we need to keep continuously learning, unlearning, and then relearning as well. I guess for all of us, we are lucky to have the support of each other in our community, in terms of our Toastmasters community. Sometimes, we feel down or we feel unenergetic, but just coming to a meeting re-energizes ourselves and go, yes, I am ready to drive the vision forward. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much. Good. Thank you so much. Thomas, any feedback from you as to what you are such an eminent speaker and you go and attend so many clubs?
Very good, very good. Yeah, I think for us to constantly expand, we need to grow, ungrow, and regrow. But I truly appreciate how all of you are so energetic at this point and enthusiastic at this timing. And I think for some of us, much later. Really appreciate it. Thank all of you for still providing this amazing atmosphere.
Okay, so we'll take some more evaluations, and then we have time, right? Alicia, just one more evaluation from someone. Yeah. Angela Lansbury, what do you think? Any feedback? So how we can do well?
I would like to have us in pairs and like buddies, so that everybody doing a role has somebody else to give feedback to. For example, I would like to talk to somebody about the backgrounds for my table topics, and I seem to be so busy creating them, I didn't have time to talk to anybody. But I'd still like to know how to create different kinds of backgrounds. So I'd like to almost have a little group of people who do each role, so that they can all come together as each new person comes in to do it. All the others say, oh, well, I did this, I did that, this worked, that didn't work. and that would be quite helpful.
Good, great. Thank you so much, Angela. So with this, I would, if anybody else wants to, I think Lee's the only one who didn't give us an evaluation. Let's just be inclusive. So we'll kind of go to Lee. And Lee Chung, do you have anything to say about today's meeting? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for having me here. Although I missed the first section, I also a lot of break time because break time. Then also learned.
Is there anything we should do well? Any feedback to us so we can keep improving?
I think good evaluation, good feedback. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Lee. Thank you so much for all of you joining. Now we'll have our award ceremony. And Alicia, would you please take the floor and announce the winners for the best table topic winner, best evaluator, and best speaker? I just want to give you the privilege.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Ade, for elevating me the minuscule SAA and timer.
Oh,
let us all have the drum roll, please, everybody. The best table topic speaker goes to our guest, Peter Josa. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
And next up, we have the Citing Best Speaker Award. And the Best Speaker Award goes to, drum roll please, our very own Toastmaster, Asmina.
Yes, Asmina.
Is she around?
Yes, so yeah, I don't know. No.
Well, anyway, well done, Asmina.
Well done,
and
Asmina.
Now we've also come to the exciting portion, to the best evaluator. It was a tough fight. The best evaluator goes to, drum roll please,
Tough fight.
Toastmaster Lee Buckley. Yay! So congratulations to all the speakers, to all the three speakers. You gave us a real good fight, and we have learned much from all of you. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Joan.
Thank you so much. It was such a lovely meeting. Thank you all for joining us and driving our vision forward. And we learned so much of not only what marriages are, but how to do a strength switch. And then you also learned how to age well, right? So this is important, that we all keep learning, growing. And as our evaluator said, that learn and sometimes also unlearn what we've learned. So that is also learning, right? So anyway, to move forward, we have our most remarkable president who's going to speak and talk about what we did well today and what we need to work on. And he's going to wrap up the meeting. So the floor is yours, President.
Live the life of your dreams. Be brave enough to live the life of your dreams according to your visions and purpose, instead of expectation and opinion of others. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in my service, in the service of my vision, there I become less and less important whether I am afraid. So, do you think of other opinions when you live your vision? The answer is you should not. You should live your vision based on what you wanted, and you will go to the destination instead of halfway detour. Many of us who like to detour just because of opinion. Many of you who have known me that I'm a person with vision and purpose, and even with opinion, I still go all the way. So would you like to take out the challenge of taking out a vision without any opinion of others. Thank you. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
A very powerful and motivating speech, President. So the takeaway for today is live your life, live your vision, dream and do what you think is right. Lead your own destination and be more powerful. And come and drive your own vision and take help of Singapore Online English Toastmasters Club to drive your vision. So again, thank you so much for a lovely evening. Have a blessed weekend, friends. And we look forward to have you again and again each and every week. And looking forward to seeing you again next Friday, same time, same day of the week. Thank you. Bye-bye.